Now let me hear you say, now tell them I'm unashamed. I'm unashamed. I'm unashamed. I'm unashamed.
Hello, my name is Robbie. On here, I am Templar Knight. Every person who believes in God but does not attend a church has a story why. But whenever two or more people gather in God's name, He is there. So this is church. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Romans 1:16. For I am unashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. I had a bad week. Again. Honestly, we're 3 weeks into 2014 and I am 0-3. It has been a struggle. Work's been hard. The temperature's been bad. But this week is different. I'm in a better mood. I am handling it better because I tried something different this week. The last 2 weeks, I was beaten down. I was losing the fight. And God had to come and correct my actions. So instead of starting out my days afraid of what was coming, afraid of what was before me, worrying about all these little things going on that I'm struggling with, I started out my day looking in the mirror, looking at my cross, and telling myself, you may not have this, but God does. And then I would go and I would spend a half hour to an hour before work going through the prayer list on Discord, talking with God, praying about people who need Him. And I would spend time with the Lord in prayer, reading my Bible. And I started out every day that way. And then on my way to work, when I'm normally transitioning from at-home Robbie to work Robbie, normally a bad time because work Robbie's been struggling. Instead of making that transition, I put my headphones on and I would listen to my playlist. I'd listen to that good church music, that Christian hip-hop that just hits harder with a message that I can feel and relate to. So when all the stupid crap that came my way that just has been ruining my weeks, when it all came around, I was ready. See, when I put on my headphones, when I listen to that music, when I vibe and spend time with the Lord, that's when I feel close to God. Sometimes I'll go to Spotify and I'll just find a Christian hip-hop playlist, put it on shuffle, and I will let God be the DJ. And I can spend time with Him celebrating with His music. And when I can find that zone, everything else just goes away. All the problems and the struggles, I can ignore it. Or at least I can face it with the right frame of mind. Because the problem I had those first few weeks, the problems didn't go away. What went away was how I was dealing with it. See, I was letting the devil in, letting him convince me of how bad everything is. And I was worrying about how bad everything was, instead of saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, it's bad, but it could be worse. And the things I've got going on, I know the stuff that I can handle. And everything that I can't, God can. So why am I letting this break me down? So I focused more on being positive, putting up a barrier, raising my shield to say, no, devil, you're not welcome here right now. I'm not in the mood for your shenanigans. You need to back off. And it got me thinking, because in my morning Bible readings, I literally just search for key phrases. And when I'm struggling, that's what I'm searching for. And so I found a verse, James chapter 4, verses 7 and 8. It says, submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come near to God, and he will come near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts. Now that's Bible talk. But what I heard in that was, I was being stupid. I was being dumb. I was focusing so much on the devil and all the bad things and the negativity that I was turning my back on God. And I was just full out facing all these struggles. This week I stopped. I turned around, put the devil at my back. Just said, God, up. Sorry, that's something my little brother used to do when he was a child. Whenever he wanted to be held, he would walk up and he'd tug on my leg, just look up at me and go, up. So I'd pick him up. And that's where I was this week. Still fighting the same battles. But instead of letting these struggles beat me down, I turned to my Lord and I said, hey, carry me through this. Pick me up. Get me out of the devil's reach. Guess what happened? He picked me up and he carried me through these hard times. I'm not saying anything got better. What I'm saying was, I didn't care. It didn't impact me the same way because I was safe in my Lord's embrace. See, I got to relearn a word this week. A word that I've known since being a kid, but I never really knew what it meant. See, this week, all the Bible verses I was looking at kept referring to this word, rebuke. And I'm like, I know what the word means, but what does it really mean? So, off to the internet I went. The dictionary will say that a rebuke is is to express a sharp disapproval or criticism of someone or something because of their behavior or actions. So when I say I had to rebuke the devil, I had to show him my disapproval for what he was doing to me, for the way he was making me think, the way he was impacting me. So I know a lot of times that phrase rebuke is okay, someone is acting a fool in public. You don't want to step in, but you will give them that rebuking look to say, hey, I don't approve what you're doing. Some nugget goes blasting by you on the highway doing 110 in its 80-mile-an-hour speed limit. You give them that look. You don't approve. Sometimes they see that look and they respond. Or better yet, as parents, how many of you have ever had to rebuke your kid because they wouldn't stop jumping on the couch? Yeah, I'm looking at you. But we use that word. Well, at least well, maybe we don't use that word, but we know that feeling. We know what it means to rebuke something, to just show hey, I don't approve of what's going on. These past few weeks, I was frustrated. I was upset with all the things that were going on around me when I should have been upset and frustrated with how I was responding to them. So this week, I did better. This week, there were still problems and struggles, and life was hitting hard. But I realized that most of my problems were in my head. See, I was focusing on the problems before. I wasn't focusing on the solutions. It is amazing how easy it is to deal with things when you're actually trying to deal with them and not just letting them beat you down. I'm not going to say I did perfect. I mean, it was a rough week, and I fell short a few times. I'd still get frustrated with things, still got upset about some stuff. But instead of letting these things beat me down, I put my headphones on. I got back in touch with God. I calmed my mind so that I could think rationally. I kept my head up, kept my chin high, and I got through it. So was this a bad week? Definitely. Probably one of the worst I've had. But did I have a bad week? Not even a little bit. Anyone who communicates with me outside of this, I had a good week. Despite all the crap going on around me, I had a good week. You know, it's crazy to think about how little and insignificant all of these problems are when you're hanging out with the Lord. It was crazy to think about how massive and world-ending all of these problems were when I was letting the devil have his say. Where are your headphones? For me, it's easy. I spend time with God through music. But what can you do to isolate yourself from the devil? To isolate yourself from all the sin and problems that he throws in your life and spend that time with the Lord? You know, maybe you're a person who needs to take a nature walk. Just get away and go be outdoors for a while. Maybe you need to draw, write a story. I don't know. For some of you, it might be puzzles. We all have our things that we can do to calm us, bring us back to reality. Life is easier when you take that time to focus. Because if there's one thing I learned this week, the devil is a bully. And the easiest way to deal with a bully, turn your back on them. Walk away. Don't let their words influence you. Don't let whatever they are doing get to you. They don't matter. The devil and all the crap that he throws in your life, it doesn't matter. What matters is that God's got you. I honestly hope you all believe and will remember that. When life gets hard, turn to the Lord. Take a step back. As the pastor should say, rebuke the devil. Make sure he knows he's not welcome here. And it literally said up in that Bible verse, resist the devil and he will flee from you. I don't know if I can even spell it out any better than that. So here's our homework for the week. When something gets to you, when something is wearing you down, is it the devil's influence on you that is breaking you? Take 10 minutes, take 15, take an hour. Go spend some time with God and see how things look afterward.
3, 2, 1.
Now let me hear you say.